Hey everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thank you all so much for joining me today on this Flosstube Friday for Flosstube number 28. This is like the 5th time I've started this, so I actually looked it up to see what Flosstube number it was. Today I have a lot of fun things to talk about, but before I get to that, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my stitchy and crafty adventures, and welcome back everyone who's been hanging out with me for the past few months, weeks, days, however long you've been hanging out. It's been great to get to know you here in the comments on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr_Christy. I'll put that right here. And that is where I post pictures throughout the week of progress on stitching. I post things that I bake that I don't film. I post history things and life things and pictures of my dog and that kind of thing. So if you want to kind of see what I'm doing day to day, follow me on Instagram. I'd love to chat with you over there as well. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch and other textile crafts and baking and history and the history of those things. So if any of that seems interesting to you and you are not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. So like I said, today I have a lot to talk about. I don't have any finished objects and I don't have any haul, but I do have some happy mail and I have a bunch of whips. I have a new start. I have plans for embroidery and cross stitch. I have some exciting announcements to make. I have a giveaway winner to pick. It's like all sorts of fun stuff happening on this video today. So let's dig right in. I have my notes right here, so if I keep looking down, that's why. First, I want to talk about, I was supposed to film a video on Tuesday, but I didn't. And then I was like, well, I'll just film it on Wednesday. And then Wednesday rolled around and I was just like not feeling great. So our weather situation here in Mississippi was not terrible. We've been very cold. We weren't able to sort of go anywhere until yesterday because our roads are covered in ice. And I know that Northerners make fun of Southerners, and I am one of those people who, when I lived in Iowa and Michigan and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, made fun of like Atlanta when it shut down for a half of an inch or an inch of snow. But the thing that I realized when I moved here is that there is no snow infrastructure here. Like, my county does not have a plow or a salt truck. Zero in the Tri-County area in this region. Like, I think Mississippi might have a plow, but I'm not even sure about that. Like, we just don't have any way to clear roads. And so you just have to wait for things to melt. And we are in no way in the situation that Texas is in. And the reason why the Texas situation is so bad is because of their electricity, and our electric grid is way more prepared than theirs was. But we still have to run our taps. I mean, we had our taps running for probably 5 days because you just have to keep them running or else they're going to burst. And we're pretty lucky because our pipes are underneath our house, and so they're relatively protected. But like my neighbor, my friend across the street, she has one of those instant hot water heaters that's outside of the house with an exposed PVC pipe. And so I was walking my dog one day and she's out there with a blow dryer because like the pipe has seized. So yeah, we were pretty lucky. We didn't lose power. We did have some blips, some flickery power on Monday and Tuesday. We lost a couple limbs from the trees. And it had not been fun to walk the dog, but for all intents and purposes, we're doing great. And our university was closed all week because you couldn't get to campus. So I teach fully online this semester because of COVID, so I still like had to work. But my fiance actually got off work all week, and he had to do like little things because he's the webmaster. But yeah, he kind of got off all week, which was nice for him. So I did not end up filming a video, and my work is kind of picking up now. It's the middle of this semester, and so I think I'm going to not guarantee Tuesday videos anymore, just because I don't want people to worry if I don't post them. I think it's just a very busy time for me, and I will definitely pick up the Tuesday videos again, probably in the summer more regularly, but until the end of the semester, it's just going to be a lot of work and grading and other stuff, committee stuff like that. So that's what happened this week with the Tuesday video. It just didn't get done. And I wasn't going to stress about it, because what I realized is that this should not be stressful for me. Like this, like you all, like our community should not be stressful for me at all. And it was starting to stress me out. And so I decided that I wasn't going to let it do it, because you all will forgive me if I don't post a video every Tuesday. But I will be here every Friday. So that'll be really fun to chat with you then. But I have now talked for 6 minutes and I have not talked about any stitching or anything. So let's get to, like I said, I don't have any finished objects, but I do have Happy Mail. Dawn sent me 2 stitchy books. I'm so excited. So this one is a like old school needlepoint stitches book that shows like all different needlepoint stitches. And I think that these will be really fun for like black work, for doing patterns. I'm excited. I'm really excited to try these out. And I've never heard of some of these stitches. Here's a double cross stitch. Like, how cool does that look? So I think this is more for needlepoint, like on a plasticky canvas, or like a more loose weaved fabric, as opposed to Ada. But I think I can figure something out. I may need to pick up some even weave and see how it looks. Like, look at that. Like, how cool does that stitch look? That stitch is cool. I'm sorry. So I'm pretty excited. So thank you, Dawn, for sending me this. This is really cool. I'm super excited. So 50 canvas stitches. I'm reading the little intro. This comprehensive book of 50 canvas stitches will be useful not only to teachers and students, but to all women who are interested in canvas embroidery. And one thing I always find, you know, textile work is very gendered feminine. Like throughout history, women did the majority of textile work. But the nice thing is that it's expanding, right? It's expanding and more men are doing it. We have non-binary people doing tons of different kinds of textile work and embroidery and cross stitch and all sorts of different things. So I love that it's kind of getting out of the realm of just women doing textile work, and it's becoming, I don't know, something that all genders can feel comfortable doing. Like, for example, my grandfather used to knit. He and my cousin would like knit together. And so I have a scarf that my grandfather made for me, which is kind of amazing, right? And I love it. At one point they had planned on like you know, she was 7 or something, right? And they decided they were going to open up a knitting shop at some point. I think it was called like the Speeding Needles, something like that. Anyway, so we have this book, and then she apparently bought 2 copies of this stitching book, and she gave it to me and said that I could give it away, but I'm not giving it away. I'm keeping it. So sorry, everybody. But it's the Vintage Stitching, oops, sorry about the glare, the Vintage Stitching Treasury. And it has a lot of these old school patterns in it. But what I really love is these kind of retro, like 20s faces. There are a couple of really perfect ones that I love. It's a lot of animals. There's some good flowers, but like her. Could you imagine like a little like watercolor with her kind of stitched in black on top? I mean, I have this whole black cone that I need to use, so I need to come up with plans for it. But then there's also just like really cute puppies. And some of these aren't my style, but I think, hold on, hold that thought. I want to find what I was looking for. Like, this isn't what I was looking for, but like, how cute would that be again? Like a little watercolor and then in black. I think that'd be really cute. Hold on one more time. Okay. So this is why I'm excited about this. I'm excited because of these fancy ladies. I love them. Like, I want to make them into like brooches. Again, I want to do some like watercolor just to color it in a little bit and then do this in black. I just think that would look so cool. So I'm just feeling a little inspired by this. And so I decided that I want to play around with it. Probably not anytime soon, but definitely at some point. And if I ever want to do like an elephant, there's an elephant in there, birds. Anyway, there's a lot happening in here, and I love it. So flowers, puppies and kitties. I could do puppies and kitties. naked babies. Anyway, thank you so much, Dawn, for this. I really love it. And the colors on the front are really fun. You can see what you can do. I kind of am digging the fruit. And then also the florals like that, just sort of standard florals, but they're like line drawings. I like it. So that is my Happy Mail. So thank you so much, Dawn. That was so kind of you to send that to me. And I'm really, really excited about playing with those patterns and maybe trying some canvas and needlepoint. I follow Royal School of Needlework, the Jacobean crewel work class that I haven't started yet, but I want to start. I am registered, but I haven't started it. But they also do a lot of canvas work and needlepoint, and it looks really cool. Like, you can do such cool things because there's so many stitches. You can do all sorts of different patterns and stuff with those. I mean, you can do all sorts of different textures and stuff with those stitches, and that's so cool, and I love it. So that's very exciting, and I'm excited to try that out. Okay, let's talk about my whips. I have a lot of whips. So I succeeded in finishing my Hilgard of Bingen Cosmic Egg, and it is out and slightly ironed because I'm going to shift up to this corner up here, like shift my hoop up to that corner and get started on that section. So that's pretty exciting. I did not finish the winds here. I think I'm going to do them, well, they'll be included in this section. So I'll do them when I'm kind of in that corner up there. I'm going to also include like the sun and as much as possible. But I think that is coming along swimmingly. And the nice thing is that I was thinking I had a ton more to do, but let me show you. I actually don't, because if you look here, let me see if I can, where is it here? So this right here, this little triangle and this bigger triangle are not stitched. The inner little square corner is gold work. I mean, not gold work, gold leaf. And the bigger square corner right there is the same as in here. So it's blue watercolor. So all I really have left to do is this section here, which is a lot. And then the frame, which is also a lot, but it's not like, I felt like in my mind I had a ton, like that I was never going to finish this. But I feel like if I just kind of keep plugging away at it, it'll get done. I mean, if you guys can finish Hades, I can finish this. I just feel like that's true, right? Like, I just have to do it a little bit every day. If you guys can finish Mirabilias, if you guys can finish all those things, I can finish this. So that's my Hilgard of Bingen's Cosmic Egg. Oh, I'll put up right here what it's supposed to look like so you can see that, and I'll show you where I am again. I know you've seen it like a million times, but I have new people, so maybe they haven't seen it before. So this is what it looks like that I have, and then this is the full piece. So I'm pretty pleased. I said that I wasn't going to work on my Peppermint Purple stitch along, which is a black work stitch along. But there was one day, I don't remember what day it was, that I just was not feeling, I wanted to stitch on something. Oh, it was Saturday. Last Saturday, I had my monthly Zoom chat with friends from grad school, and I tried to stitch during it, but I can't stitch on something that I have to think too much about. And I felt like every one of my pieces like needed thought. So I picked up my Peppermint Purple stitch along, and I did these 2 squares. And I think I'm only 2 weeks behind now. I think there are 2 more small squares here. There may be another one too, but I think it's just these 2. So that's really fun. And this is just on black Aida, and I'm doing it in silk. And so the variegated is Be Stitch Me silk called Happy. And then the green is an unnamed sort of Halloween-y green from Dying for Cross Stitch. So there's that. And I dropped my needle and needle minder, so I'm going to go pick that up real quick. Hold on one second. Okay, crisis averted. I got to find the front of it, but there's the back of it. But anyway, there's my progress on my Peppermint Purple stitch along. So that's fun. That comes out every week. And I was right, though, that it's a pretty quick stitch up now that I'm kind of used to doing it. So that's nice. I also worked on my temperature bookshelf that I've been doing with my mom. Now, I didn't do it with my mom because God, I was zoomed out on Sunday. We had, I guess I won't show it. We had a Zoom with my family for my grandmother's 90th birthday, like right beforehand. And I was just like, I just want to like not be on Zoom. And then I was on Zoom the night before with my friends. It was just a lot of Zoom. So I just did this on my own, and I am up to date. I will work on this on Sunday again. And I actually ended up adding a new color. I added a below freezing color, which I was not expecting, that I did not expect to be there for as many times as it will be this week. This week will be a very strange week. It will basically just be these two colors all week. So, and it is the white étoile, DMC étoile is what I did, that below freezing, below 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. And I also did this here. I finished the shelf and I put in another thread this way. So I did work a little bit on the shelf itself. So there's that. Oh, and I figured out how to export this as a Pattern Keeper compatible file. So if you purchase this, the cross stitch version of this, and you would like me to email you the Pattern Keeper compatible version, I have a Google form down below that you can fill out and send me your email address, and I will kind of bulk mail out the file maybe on next Friday. So that way anyone who wants it can have it. And it is now included in the Etsy listing. So it's also kind of like a happy mail form. So if you win a prize from me, I don't have to ask you for your address. It can just be down there. I mean, I will still, if it's not down there, that's okay. But I figured that will just be, I will just have like a Google form with information of followers and subscribers who want me to stay in contact with them. I also have an option to get an email when I release a new pattern, which I'll talk about when I talk about the Harpy and the Dragon. And then in my mind, I have it that I kind of want to do like an embroidery / cross stitch newsletter in the future. There's nothing planned yet, but there's also a little check mark if you're interested in that when that happens. And it would basically be like a once a month, hey, check out these cool things I found that have to do with cross stitch or embroidery. So cool new sellers, cool techniques. You know, I may talk about patterns or needlework or whatever, right? So if you're interested in that, check that box too. And I'll put you on that list as well. But none of that is necessary. Like if you just want me to send you the Pattern Keeper pattern and never talk to you again, that's perfectly acceptable. And that is an option. So anyway, fill out the Google form down below and I will send that out to you. And all future of my patterns will include a Pattern Keeper compatible version. But anyway, so I have my temperature bookcase. And I'm really pleased with this because, you know, one of my goals in doing this is to get better at a satin stitch. And if you look at how wobbly the beginning of January was versus the end of January and versus the beginning of February, I'm already getting better with my tension. So I'm feeling really, really good about that. Feeling good. That is my temperature library. That is in my book bag. My new start is all wrapped up in itself. This is my new start, and it's also a finish, I suppose. But I did the first of my Little Bayou Tapestry archers on my scarf. So that's fun, and I'm really pleased with him. I am doing him in DeVere Yarns wool. He's a bit bulkier than I would normally like because the wool is a little bit bulkier than one strand of DMC, but I like it. I do think that when I do the next one, because I'm going to do 2 more of these, I'm going to make them a tiny bit bigger. And basically it's 4 archers on each end. And then I might put some like arrows connecting them throughout the scarf. So that's the plan. I just want to buy you a tapestry scarf, honestly. So that's what I'm going to do. I think next time I do this, I'm going to make them a tiny bit bigger just so they don't look so bulky. That's the plan. And in fact, I might do them a little bit bigger on the other side. This side, I'm going to keep them all the same size because I want it to look consistent, but the other side might be just a tiny bit bigger. We'll see. But I'm pretty pleased with him. Oh, and you know, I'm using the wools that I have from my DeVere Yarn advent calendars. And I don't have black, and so I replaced all the black with blue. So there's more blue in there than there is in the actual one, in the actual like Bayou Tapestry. But I don't think anyone will care, and I certainly don't care. So, you know, we're just gonna go with it. And my final whip is also connected to the giveaway from last week for this week. And that is my Harpy and Dragon pattern. And I'm calling it the Harpy and Dragon 1596 because it is an interpretation / reproduction of a lace pattern in a 1596 manuscript. And so this is what it's going to look like. It's charted in a light, medium, and dark shade. And I charted it in blue because I like blue. And this is where I am on the Harpy. I am so excited. And I changed it a little bit after stitching it. I changed the wing a little bit, and then I changed the dragon eye a little bit. But otherwise, this is pretty much what it looks like, and I'm really pleased. The only problem is this square is one level this way. So I just need to pick that out and shift it so that the line goes right here. But I'm really, really pleased with it. And I've been doing it in Pattern Keeper, which has really helped me. And I think I'm about 30% done with the whole thing. So that's exciting. But that's my my Harpy from my Harpy and Dragon cross stitch pattern, which is currently available in my Etsy shop if anyone's interested. And it's part of a series that I'm calling History and Legends. And I'm planning on doing another pattern in the next couple weeks. I kind of want to release like one a month, but I want this to be fun for me because this is my hobby and this is fun for me. The reason why I'm making patterns is because I actually really enjoy making patterns, and I'm excited that I'm making patterns that I really want to stitch, and I hope to have like all sorts of mythical and historical creatures all over my house that I design, which will be really fun. But I also want to share that with you guys because you all seem to enjoy that stuff too. So it is currently on sale in my Etsy shop, and you will get both just a PDF. It'll be 2 PDFs, one of which is like the PDF pattern and one of which is a pattern that works with Pattern Keeper. And the Pattern Keeper one is labeled PK, and they always will be. And so last week, in honor of the release of this pattern, I said that I would give away a copy of it. 12 people wanted to be a part of it, so, you know, pretty good odds for those of you who want to win things from me. And the winner is Linda Griffin. Linda, congratulations. You won a copy of the Harpy and Dragon 1596, number 1 in the History and Legends pattern series. So you can either find me on Instagram at Dr_Christy, send me a message with your email address, or I'll have my email down below and you can shoot me an email with your email address and I will send you either the PDF pattern or both patterns, whichever you prefer. You can start stitching the Harpy and the Dragon. So thanks everyone for wanting to stitch the pattern. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it. It's been really fun to stitch. And I'm telling you, marking it off every 5. I mark it off every 5 squares, and that has made this like possible for me to cross stitch, which is really exciting. Pattern Keeper, unfortunately, does not do that. It only does 10 or 20 squares, which has been a little problem for me, but I'm able to figure it out. So anyway, I'm really pleased. But thank you all for wanting to play around with it. I really appreciate it very much. Like I said, I don't have any kind of a haul, which is probably fine. And I don't think even if I had mail, I would have gotten anything this week. I have some things that I think are coming eventually, but nothing at the moment. But I do have lots of plans. So let's talk about those. I have a little list. Let me bring out my list here. I obviously want to work on all the whips that you saw. I want to shift my Hilgard of banging up to a corner. I want to work on my Harpy. I want to do at least another archer, or there's a quiver in the middle, like a standing quiver that you could pull arrows out of. So maybe just one of those. Maybe I'll get one of those done this week. I'm not planning on working on my Peppermint purple stitch along, so I'm not going to worry about that. I do want to choose the next lace design for the next History and Legend series pattern. Oh, and I'm working on an Amanda Gorman, The Hill We Climb hoop, essentially. Basically, the inaugural poem by Amanda Gorman really affected me. And I have designed a pattern that I'm going to stitch for a friend of mine. And then I'm also going to stitch it for our library, that is our university library, that is doing a gallery, like a show of faculty art, that like the art that faculty have been doing during COVID isolation. Apparently a lot of us have been doing art. They're doing an exhibit of these art pieces, and then they're auctioning them off for the student emergency fund that we have on campus that helps students pay for like if an emergency comes up. So I'm going to stitch one for that as well and donate that as well. And I'm not going to show it to you because you will see it when it's done. But I did show a sneak peek on Instagram yesterday, I think. So if you want to see kind of what I'm thinking, you can check that out there. Oh, and I guess I have a question for you. I've been like designing, I've been designing my own patterns for a while. I very rarely stitch other people's patterns. Part of the fun of it for me is the design aspect. That's kind of the creative outlet for me. But I don't like that bouncy font. I feel like everything is in that bouncy font and that I should like make things in the bouncy font because that's what people want to see. But I don't like it. And no judgment to anyone who does like it. I'm not saying that's inherently bad. I just don't like it. Am I the only person who doesn't like it? Like, it's this font here. Am I the only person who, like, I don't like it? It's like, it doesn't appeal to me at all. Like, and I feel like it's going to be like the 2010s or like the 20-teens, 2020s version of like this 70s font. Like it's going to be very dated very quickly because it's so ubiquitous right now. I don't know. Just tell me that I'm not the only one who doesn't like the font. If you do like the font and love it, like no judgment at all. I just feel like I'm the only one who doesn't like it. I just don't want to be alone in my disinterest in this font. Anyway, that's on my list of things to talk about. I just want a little bit of, support. I want some support that I'm not the only one. Yeah, if I have time this week, I have a history, the history video I was going to do last Tuesday, I still want to do because it's a fun kind of video. It's like a history of linguistics and language, and I love that stuff. So I may do that if I have time, but I may not. I also I've been sort of really feeling like I want to dye things again. So I may, crack out the dye pots and try some dyeing. I have to eventually deal with this that's been sitting in dye for 2 months. It may be completely destroyed. I don't know. But I need to play around with that and see what's going on with that. So I have a lot of stuff that I want to do. I have a lot of stuff happening. And I'm going to do what makes me happy because I think that I put a lot of pressure on myself to kind of do all the things and stay busy all the time. And sometimes I get overwhelmed and then I feel bad because I feel like I'm letting you all down, but I'm not letting you all down because you all don't want me to be stressed out about doing this. And you don't want me to burn out from doing videos and crafts and stuff like that. So like it's okay. I just need to tell myself that it's okay just to like breathe and sit. And if things are really stressful, like the fact that my entire world is covered in ice and people are freezing in Texas and there's a pandemic outside, like I just feel like I can take a moment and like figure things out, right? And just stitch. Sometimes you just need to stitch. So anyway, I think that's all from me. Linda, get in touch with me either on Instagram, like I said, Dr._Christy, or you can email me. My email address will be down below. And give me your email address so that I can email you the patterns. Let me know, like I said, if you want the Pattern Keeper compatible version as well as the just sort of PDF version, or if you only need one of them, because I don't want to like send you files that you don't need. Yeah, that's it from me. So thank you all so much for joining me and watching me today. I hope that I was entertaining and maybe inspired you to do some stitching and other things. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. And I'm thinking about all of you in Texas. I know a few of you live in Texas, and I hope that you are doing well and are safe, and that your family and loved ones are safe. So with all that being said, please take good care of yourselves and your loved ones, and have a good one. Bye.